UPSC arena is an ever-evolving space where staying up to date becomes as crucial as maintaining a thorough preparation. With strategic planning and holistic coverage for exam syllabus, Vision IS Delhi presents GS Foundation course. Avail analysis and integration of current affairs with GS syllabus. All India test series with an innovative assessment system, inculcating post-test analysis, discussion, all India ranking, and more. Explore the holistic learning modules intrinsically designed for the ideal aspirant.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you all in today's class. That is a special class for a very specific topic, and you can see I'm going to cover two topics. One, that is value in judiciary and issues related to judicial appointment, and second one will be role of civil service in democracy and issues which are related to lateral entry. So let us start with the first part, that is related to judiciary. And today we are going to take a very important burning issue that is related to the ethics, morality and values in Indian judiciary. We all know that judiciary is not only integral part of Indian Constitution, but judiciary is a custodian of Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India, which was enforced on 26th of January 1950, has given a very important responsibility to Indian judiciary, not only to take care of the fundamental rights of common people, not only to make state actors like executive and legislative to be sensitive to people of this country, but to ensure the enforcement of Indian Constitution as per the demand of the constitutional morality and constitutionalism. Along with the executive and legislative, judiciary as a third pillar of the constitution of this country, this judiciary is responsible to be careful about the enforcement of Indian Constitution in letter and spirit. The judiciary of the Constitution and judiciary as per the demand of Constitution, both are two different things. When I am talking about judiciary provided by Indian Constitution, that judiciary actually is related to the structural and procedural aspect of the system. Indian Constitution under Article 124 to 147 and Article 214 to 237 deal with the judicial system in our country. Structure and procedures related to judiciary are covered in different constitutional provisions or articles, but as far as the behavioral dimension of judiciary is concerned, it will be essential for us to understand that behavioral dimension of judiciary will not be explained and cannot be explained by the Constitution in totality. It will be up to the members of judiciary, particularly learned honorable judges at different strata of judiciary, to ensure the expected behavior as per the demand of Constitution. And today, I am supposed to discuss with you the behavioral dimension of judiciary rather than structural and procedural, which are given in the Constitution in different provisions of Part 5 and Part 6 of the Constitution. So, let us start with the topic that deals with the value in judicial life and judicial ethics. First of all, what I want to do, that whatsoever going to be covered in our discussion related to values in judicial life, that part I will divide into 4 major aspects. The first one will be legality versus legitimacy. Second one will be related to concept of the topic itself. Fourth one, judicial ethics and commandments. And fourth, recent controversies. These are the 4 areas I will cover. The first one I am going to cover is legality and legitimacy. As far as the legality part of the judiciary is concerned, it will take care of the legal dimension of the judiciary. It will be related to law. It will be related to provisions which deal with the structural and procedural aspect of judiciary. And as earlier I told you, that structural and procedural aspect of judiciary only will not be sufficient to understand the role of judiciary in the country. If we want to understand the role of judiciary in the country, it will be essential for us to understand the behavioral dimension of judiciary, and that behavioral dimension of judiciary will be regulated, will be guided by the constitutional provisions as well as provisions which are not directly mentioned in the constitution, but that will be related to, or that will be related with, judicial ethics, that will be related to the morality in judiciary, that will be related to the fair and accepted behavior of honorable judges in the judiciary, that will be related to all those ethical principles and values which are expected to be reflected in the behavior of the judges who are performing at different level of Indian judiciary. Then only the judgment of judiciary and the role of judiciary as per the demand of Indian Constitution in totality will be accepted and will be welcomed, will be honored in our country. So, essential for our judicial system, essential for our judges to be careful about, on one hand, the legality aspect of the judiciary, on the other hand, legitimacy aspect of judiciary. And the moment they will respond, the moment they will talk about, or the moment they will be sensitive towards the legitimacy aspect of the judiciary, they will respond the judicial ethics, they will respond the morality, they will respond the ethical values in the judicial system. And the moment they will respond ethical values in judicial system, judiciary will be responded by people of this country at very high. People of the country will respond judiciary with respect and honor. People must be satisfied, and people will be satisfied if judiciary will be recognized, if judiciary will recognize itself, if judiciary will perform as the custodian of constitution, protector and defender of fundamental rights and other rights of common people in a very civilized country like India, a democratic country like India. So, we are supposed to be careful about judicial ethics, and that's why today I am going to give emphasis on the judicial ethics part. Because the moment this part will take care of, our issues will be related to not only the static part of the judiciary, but the dynamic part of the judiciary also. My dear, Indian legal system occupies the trinity, that is the highest place in people's mind, conscience and confidence. The judiciary derives democratic legitimacy from public. And that's why it is essential for judiciary to show its commitment towards constitutional morality, towards constitutional values, towards the democratic values, and at the same time, it will be essential for Indian judiciary to ensure devotion, dedication, and determination to ensure protection of each and every citizen of this country against every kind of atrocity or arbitrary action of the state. One should not forget that the judiciary is recognized as a last bastion of hope. When the rest other organs of state either are not performing as per the expectation, or organs of the state or government machineries are not ready to perform as per the demand of Constitution, or they are miserably failed to perform their duties as per the demand of Constitution, as per the expectation of people of this country. In that type of situation, judiciary is expected to perform, judiciary is recognized as the last bastion of hope. That's why it is essential for judiciary to be careful about the legitimacy aspect of the system rather than the legality aspect of the system. You will find Constituent Assembly, when talked about, when discussed Indian judiciary, categorically supported higher standard of morale, self-restraint, self-regulation, self-constraint for the judges who are supposed to be a torch-bearer to uplift the standard of Indian judiciary, not only in the country India, but at global level. Indian judiciary should be a symbol of independency. Indian judiciary should be a symbol of impartiality. Indian judiciary is a symbol of, or should be a symbol of, integrity. Indian judiciary should be a symbol of propriety. And to ensure these all, it will be essential for judges to be concerned, to be careful, to be sensitive, to be dedicated, to be devoted to judicial ethics. It will not be wrong to say that trust and faith of people is sine qua non for the judiciary. So, judiciary is expected to be careful about judicial ethics. So, as far as the independency of judiciary is concerned, it is related to judicial ethics. It is related to judicial ethics. Now, question arises that what actually judicial ethics is. What is judicial ethics? How one will understand judicial ethics? You may know, but I must share with you, or I should share with you, ethics is nothing but a normative science and is directly related to critical analysis of correctness of morality in the system. So, systematic, scientific, critical analysis of correctness of morality is ethics. So, judicial ethics also will talk about the systematic, scientific, critical analysis of correctness of morality in the judicial system. In that way, This judicial ethics will talk about independency, will talk about honesty, will talk about integrity, will talk about compassion, will talk about propriety, will talk about uprightness, etc. So, judicial ethics consists of standards and norms which are related to ethics and morality, and those standards and norms are supposed to be respected by the judges who are torchbearers of Indian judicial system. Judicial ethics will include all matters which are essential for independence, impartiality, integrity, and propriety in Indian judiciary. Canons of judicial ethics. Canons of judicial ethics enable judiciary to move forward, to struggle and to move forward with confidence. Canons of judicial ethics give ability to judges of the system to correct themselves, to learn a lesson from their own mistakes, to understand the importance of true value of judicial life. Judges are supposed to understand, as far as the demand of judicial ethics is concerned, that the discharge of judicial function is nothing but an act of divinity. I will write again, as far as the canons of judicial ethics is concerned, that canons of judicial ethics will make judiciary competent. Competent in what sense? To struggle and move forward. Competent and to move forward with confidence. Second, correct self. And third, to understand the value. To understand the value of judicial life. Value of judicial life. My dear, the canon of judicial ethics will enlighten judiciary from inside. Canons of judicial ethics will make judges capable to understand that discharge of judicial function is an act of divinity. These all three will lead judiciary to perform judicial activities as an act of divinity I will give emphasis on the act of divinity. Act of divinity. Act of divinity cannot be performed by logic or by law or by external power. External source of energy will not be sufficient to perform anything that is considered as art of divinity. It demands participation of infinite forces which command thoughts and actions of individuals. Which command thoughts and actions of individuals. And thoughts and actions of individuals will always be internally regulated and guided by the fundamental values which are integral part of ethics and morality. Supreme Court in Tarak Singh versus Jyoti Basu case 2004. I will repeat. Supreme Court in Tarak Singh versus Jyoti Basu case 2004 categorically stated that the judiciary is nothing but integrity institution. Judiciary is nothing but integrity institution. And if judiciary is nothing but integrity institution, judges are supposed to possess sterling quality of integrity. Because integrity is the hallmark of judicial discipline. Integrity is the hallmark of a judicial discipline. And without judicial discipline, without judicial ethical values, it will be difficult for judges. It will be difficult for judges to perform that act of divinity. So judges are supposed to be a custodian of the ethics and morality. It is said that judges are supposed to be hermits. I will repeat. Judges are supposed to be hermits. Because hermits are known for their discipline. Hermits are known for self-regulation. Hermits are known for self-control. Hermits are known for enlightenment from inside. Like hermits, judges are supposed to protect themselves from 5 vices. Judges are supposed to protect themselves from 5 vices. These all 5 vices are given in Sukraniti. I will write here Sukraniti. Sukraniti talks about 5 vices, and hermits are supposed to protect themselves from those 5 vices. Similarly, judges are also expected to protect themselves from those 5 vices. Like, one is raga, means favor. 1 or 2 I am going to write. One is raga. Second one is lobha, means greed. Here favor. Third one is, you can say, bhai, means fear. Or one another you can write dves, means ill will. So 5 vices are there. And these all 5 vices will make hermits incapable, weak, vulnerable. Similarly, if judges will not be competent enough, if judges will not empower themselves from inside to shield themselves from these all 5 vices, it will be difficult for them to maintain discipline. And you know, discipline, judicial discipline, is of paramount importance in judicial life. Sometimes people used to think that judges pass judgment, and when judges pass judgment, people accept those judgments because of power. Because of power or authority vested in judiciary. No. It is partially correct, half truth. Acceptability of the judgment is not completely dependent on the constitutional provisions or the power vested in judiciary or authority vested in judiciary. Acceptability of judicial judgments depends upon the credibility of conduct, honesty, integrity, and the character of judges. What I am trying to share with you, that acceptability of judgment acceptability of the judgment to some extent is dependent upon the constitutional provisions, power and authority vested in judiciary. But as earlier I talked about, the legitimacy of the judgment, the actual acceptability of the judgment in society will depend upon the credibility, of the conduct. Credibility of the conduct means how judges are going to behave, how judges are going to carry themselves. It will be heavily dependent on honesty, integrity, character of judges. These are essential for the judges to maintain. Without appropriate conduct, without ethical conduct, without honesty and integrity, without a custodian of sound character, very difficult for judges to legitimize their actions. I will repeat, they can enforce their judgment. They can force people to accept their judgment. But very difficult for them to ensure acceptance of the judgment by society in context of ethics and morality. That's why it is said, judicial officers should take care of their behavior. Judicial officers are supposed to stick with the fundamental moral values, fundamental ethical values. They are not expected to continue with two different standards, one in court, one in outside court. They are not supposed to come out with different codes of conduct, one applicable in court, another one applicable in normal common life in society. Being a custodian of Indian Constitution, Judiciary is entrusted with the obligation to incorporate judicial values. They are expected to incorporate judicial values. They are expected to incorporate, they are expected to be sensitive towards the constitutional morality, constitutionalism in our country. It will be essential for them to show their commitment towards the constitutional philosophy, folded or unfolded, vested in Indian Constitution, to realize the broader objective of this country. I am talking about socialism, secularism, democratic republic. I am talking about social justice, economic justice, and political justice for the people of this country. Judges are supposed to preserve highest standard of judicial ethics. I will repeat. Judges are supposed to preserve highest standard of judicial ethics. They are supposed to be careful in their public speech. They are supposed to be careful in their public speech. They are supposed to be sensitive towards public trust. They must be careful about their own family conduct. They must be concerned about recusal. It will be essential for them to be careful about conscience and compassion. Judges gives judgment. Everyone knows it, that judges give judgment. But how that judgment going to be accepted? How that judgment going to be welcomed? Judges are supposed to be careful about it. It will be essential for judges to hear each and everything whatsoever litigants are supposed to share with them, very cautiously. Judges are supposed to respond, or judges are supposed to answer questions wisely. Judges are expected to consider issues soberly, and at the same time, it will be essential for judges to decide on issues or to give judgment with impartiality. If judges will not do that, they will be responsible for the every kind of negative aspects in litigants' life. They must know that each and every judgment of judge can change, can alter the life of litigant. So before going to give judgment, judges are supposed to be careful about judicial ethics. And when I am talking about judges who should be concerned about judicial ethics, does not mean that ethics is directly related to judges only. But since judges are the custodian of constitution, it is essential for them to show their respect towards ethics and morality. When they will show their respect towards ethics and morality, rest also will be concerned about ethics and morality. And like punctuality of judges, people also will be punctual, will come on time. And time is 2 p.m. Punctuality is integral part of ethics and morality. If judges will not maintain, if people who are holding constitutional positions are not concerned about ethics and morality, how rest of common people will be concerned about? If their parents, their family members are not concerned about ethics and morality, how normal common people will be concerned about? So since judges are considered as a custodian of constitution, they are supposed to be careful about judicial ethics. And when they will be concerned about judicial ethics, there are 3 commandments of judicial ethics. Now, I am talking about 3 commandments. Three commandments of judicial ethics. Three commandments of judicial ethics. What these 3 commandments are? The first one is the restatement of values of judicial life. Restatement. Restatement of values of judicial life. This was adopted by Supreme Court itself in 1997. 1997. Restatement of values in judicial life. And this one talks about 16 points. You can consider it as a codes of conduct. 16 points codes of conduct. And judges themselves adopted it in 1997. I will repeat, 16 points are there. Some examples I am giving you. Judges are not supposed to take part in any kind of election. They are not expected to be part of election. Even club election they are not supposed to be part of. That should be the standard of judicial ethics for them. Judges must avoid any kind of action that erode public confidence. As earlier I told you, judges are supposed to behave like hermit. If judges are supposed to behave like a hermit, it will be essential for them to maintain highest level of discipline, to dissociate themselves from everyone whosoever going to influence him during course of action, including family members. If any one of the family member is a part of any bar association, that member of the family should not be allowed to live with the judge in one home. The judge is not expected to share any room or any building or any bungalow with even family members or whosoever a member of the bar association. Judges are not supposed to be in public life publicly. They are expected to be a member of the family, nearest one. Judges are supposed to take part in family affairs, but are not supposed to take part in any kind of event whatsoever, directly or indirectly going to affect the judgment. It is said that judges are duty bound to make their own family disciplined. If family will not be disciplined, then judges are supposed to detach themselves from the family. And if they are not supposed to perform in that way, they must resign. They are not supposed to continue as a judge. They will have to resign, they should resign. Judges are not supposed to give public speech. They are not preacher. They are not public speaker. They are not politicians. They are not supposed to give any kind of public advice. They are not supposed to indulge themselves in any kind of political view or political stand, directly or indirectly. They are custodian of the basic structure of the Constitution, including secularism. Directly or indirectly, they are not expected to be indulged in any kind of religious practices in public. And if they are doing that, it will be compulsory, as far as the demand of judicial ethics is concerned, to resign. They are not supposed to continue as a judge, either High Court or Supreme Court, if they are not in a position to respect judicial ethics, as per this restatement of values of judicial life adopted in 1997 by judges themselves. As far as the second commandment is concerned, second one, that is related to 2002 decision. And in 2002, Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct was announced. Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct. In 2002, Bangalore's Principle of Judicial Conduct was adopted. And that Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct, when was adopted by Indian Judiciary, it was recognized by United Nations in 2006. And in 2006, United Nations Economic and Social Council adopted the resolution to recognize this Bangalore Principle of Judicial Conduct and categorically stated that Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct is indispensable ingredient to maintain neutrality, integrity and independency of judicial system, not only in India but across the world. So Indian judiciary is expected to be dedicated, devoted and determined to follow this Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct. And Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct gives emphasis on 6 ingredients. 6. Bangalore principles of judicial conduct. 6 points are there. Point number 1, independency. Point number 2, integrity. Point number 3, impartiality. Point number 4, propriety. Point number 5, equality. And point number 6, diligence and competence. Competence and diligence. So, independency, integrity, impartiality, propriety, equality, competence and diligence. 6 areas were given focus in Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct. I will repeat, these all were recognized by United Nations in 2006 and considered these principles essential to maintain independency in judicial system, not only in India but across the world. So, in our country, whenever we talk about the judicial ethics for judges to be disciplined, the first one 1997, second one 2002, and third one is related to the oath given in the Constitution, Schedule 3 of the Constitution. Schedule 3 of the Constitution. Schedule 3 of the Constitution, if one will read the Constitution, will find oath administered by a president or governor at Supreme Court level or High Court level respectively. That oath is divided into 4 parts. First 3 parts are simple, but fourth one is very important. First one is allegiance towards Constitution. Second part is uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the country. Third part is directly related to Sukraniti, already I discussed. Sukraniti talks about 5 vices, and on the basis of that Sukraniti, Indian Constitution talks about, in the third part of the oath, that judges are supposed to perform with best of their ability, without any fear or favor, without any fear or favor, without any kind of lust, without any kind of ill will. It means, as per Sukraniti, for new student particularly, judges are not supposed to be victim of raga. Raga means favor. Judges are not supposed to be victim of lobha, means greed. Judges are not supposed to be victim of bhai, means fear. Judges are not supposed to be victim of ill will, means dvesh. And these all are integral part of the oath taken by judges either at Supreme Court level or at High Court level. That is perfectly based on the Sukraniti. And the fourth part of the oath is to uphold the Constitution and law. And that's why Judiciary is considered as custodian and guardian of Indian Constitution. So judges are responsible to uphold the Constitution. Judges are responsible to maintain the flavor of constitutional morality and constitutionalism in this country. without constitutional morality and without constitutionalism, according to Dr. Ambedkar, very difficult for India to continue with democracy, live vibrant democracy. Our democracy will be a short-lived democracy if we will not be in a position to maintain constitutional morality and constitutionalism. And constitutional morality and constitutionalism both are essential to be protected by the judiciary itself. So judges are supposed to maintain their own integrity. They are supposed to maintain their own standard of ethics and morality as per the demand of 1997 Restatement of Values Judicial Life, adopted by themselves. Then Bangalore Principles of Judicial Justice 2022, recognized by United Nations, essential for independency of judiciary across the world. And the third one, oath, that is framed in Indian Constitution as far as the Schedule 3 of the Constitution is concerned. So, our Constitution and at the same time the ecology of the country categorically give emphasis on the ethics in Indian judiciary. Now, it is essential for us to think one another thing. That is what? My dear, after going through a detailed discussion on judicial ethics, I think question will arise in our mind that in 2024, why we are forced to discuss judicial ethics, why we are forced to discuss the value of judicial life. Unfortunately, in last months and weeks, we Indians have experienced something which are not or which were not expected from us. The recent visit of Prime Minister of India to Chief Justice of India has sparked controversy, particularly in context of all three commandments of judicial ethics, particularly restatement of values of judicial life, adopted by Supreme Court itself in 1997. We know, and nothing wrong to accept it, that each and every individual in the country is entitled to be ambitious, is entitled to set own goal to achieve. But that goal should not be at the cost of Constitution. That goal should not be at the Constitution, at the cost of Constitution, should not be at the cost of profession, should not be at the cost of professional ethics. And if someone's personal goal going to enter in any kind of conflict with Constitution or profession or professional ethics, it will be better, it will be advisable to dissociate self from that profession. But no one should be allowed to carry on with own personal ambition at the cost of constitutional morality, at the cost of constitutional ethics, judicial ethics, or simply professional ethics. Months before, we experienced the political ambition of judges, particularly from West Bengal. We know that one judge resigned and immediately joined political party. Today, he is a member of parliament also. Already I told you, nothing wrong to be ambitious. Everyone is entitled to be ambitious. But there will be a question mark that if judge who is recognized as a custodian of constitution, after taking retirement, going to join a political party to become a member of parliament, how will be analyzed in society? How his role will be evaluated in society? There will be a question mark. And very simple question will be that when he or she was performing as a judge, decision given him by him or her was biased or not. That judge was inclined towards any particular political ideology or not, that kind of doubt, that kind of suspicion will be in public. And that will be sufficient to jeopardize the whole judicial system. Supreme Court judges in past also had accepted lucrative political positions. Nothing wrong to accept it, but question mark will be there as far as their behavior is concerned in context of judicial ethics. And that will be a very big question mark when we talk about the value of judicial life. One another incident I want to share with you that is related to the Chief Justice of India who invited Prime Minister. Personal life is beyond judicial scrutiny. But we had discussed earlier, judges are expected to maintain their aloofness. They are expected to behave like hermit. Whatsoever they will do, that will influence, that will affect the environment of the country. And that's why not only people of the country, even the soul of the constitution is expecting from judges to maintain their own self-constraint. They are supposed to be with highest level of morality. They are supposed to regulate themselves to be aloof, because message will be negative. Message will be different. Judges are supposed to give judgment on the basis of constitution. Judges are supposed to give judgment on the basis of the doctrine of rule of law. But if judges will come out with a statement not essential to give that kind of a statement in public, but if judges are coming out with a statement that before going to give judgment, he or she try to get guidance from God, then question mark will be there. You may be guided by, you may be regulated by, you may follow any God. That is personal view, that is personal choice. Nothing wrong in that. Indian Constitution, Article number 25 of the Constitution is allowing everyone a freedom of conscience. Nothing wrong in that. But if judges will come out with that kind of a statement, then problem will occur. So, one can come to the conclusion that when public is losing faith in the judicial system, for God's sake, our honorable judges are supposed to come out with their strength, not only to defend and protect constitutional morality and constitutionalism, but at the same time, they are supposed to uplift their own standard to be a symbol of judicial ethics and morality. They are supposed to show their own commitment towards Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct 2002. That Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct 2002 is well accepted by even United Nations Economic and Social Council in 2006. So our judges who are honorable judges, they must come out with that highest standard. And if they will come out with highest standard, if they will come out with their guidelines own, they will be beyond any controversy. They will be beyond any kind of negative doubts. And then that will be boon for the country. That will be good for the Constitution. That will be good for the constitutionally guided parliamentary democratic system. So, one can hope, one can expect that our judiciary will always be known for judicial ethics, will always be known for highest level of morality, and will always be comfortable, competent, and committed to ensure protection of, to ensure the protection of the Constitution in our country. And that's why judges should take some major initiatives to do, or to make the country, to make the judiciary particularly a faithful and trustworthy in our country. Now, after going through the detailed discussion on judicial ethics, I am going to start appointment in judiciary. And directly or indirectly, the appointment in judiciary and related issues also will be linked with judicial ethics. How? Let us say, allow me to start. I talked about judicial ethics. More than 1 hour, I discussed judicial ethics, values in judicial life, ethics and morality among judges. But question is, judges also are human beings. Across the world, scholars from psychology, from management, from administration, believe and maintain that most important resource is human resource. What kind of human resource you have, that actually will decide the production. Pandit Nehru was of the view that we Indians can import everything except two things. One, human resource, and second, fertility of the land. We can improve the fertility of the land, and we can improve the quality of human being. We cannot import human being. Our own people should be qualitative. Human resource, very important. You people also, when going for search for any support system in terms of institutions, you may know, you may not, but most of the time students ask a question, who teach? If counter question will come, how many people you know? Your answer will be simple, we don't know. But you ask a question, who teach? Without responding one very gentle question, that person who used to teach always teach more than thousands of students, but only one or two qualify. So teacher is not wrong. Your conduct will decide your success. It means every individual will have to correct self. We are supposed to be judge for everyone and advocate for self. Before mirror, try to justify yourself. That why you should be selected. Answer yourself that are you best in the class? And if you are not best in the class, how will be best in the country? Analyze yourself. And that is not for the students only, for everyone whosoever performing, wherever performing, including teachers, judges. So what kind of human resources we have in judiciary? That also is very important. And what kind of human resource we have, that will be decided by recruitment policy. What kind of civil servants we have, that will be decided by our recruitment policy. What kind of people we are going to recruit. Only for understanding, students who are going to top in the list, scoring less than 50% marks, how will be considered qualitative? That is well second division marks. Somewhere third division also. Right or wrong? But top the list. Civil service topper. Score less than 50%. So what will be quality of civil service? In later part I will discuss with you. If quality of civil service will be good, then there will be no question of lateral entry. So lateral entry is nothing but a slap on the face of civil servants. That part I will discuss with you later on. But as far as the judiciary is concerned, how judiciary is going to be manned, that is important. What kind of judges we have and how we are going to appoint judges. So, appointment of judges. Appointment of judges, I will divide mainly in two parts. One, Article 124 of the Constitution, and second one, Article 217 of the Constitution. Article 124 of the Constitution and Article 217 of the Constitution. This one is related to Supreme Court, and this one is related to High Court. Constitution says that Supreme Court judges shall be appointed by President of India after consulting Chief Justice. The word given in the Constitution is consult. President of India is expected to consult, and consult does not carry a meaning of concurrence. In fact, consult is different from advice. In the same Constitution, Article number 74 deals with advice of Council of Ministers with Prime Minister to President of India. There you will not find the word consult. In Article number 124, you will find the word consult. And as per the Constitution, President was expected to consult Chief Justice Supreme Court to maximum extent because of courtesy. But Supreme Court flying with the concept of judicial activism came out with a new so-called creative doctrine, collegium system. Nothing to do with Constitution, but came out with collegium system. The moment someone will use the word collegium, questions should arise. Why? Why Judiciary came out with so-called flying colors, taking support of the concept of judicial activism to show its creative mind in a product called collegium. That was actually a product or counter product of politicization of Indian judiciary by none other than the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Because of the influence of Indira Gandhi, technically one must be correct, because Prime Minister is not supposed to appoint anyone. So because of influence of the former Prime Minister that time, in 1973, first time judiciary was politicized, and at the cost of 3 senior most judges, Justice Silhat, Justice Hegde, and Justice Grover. President of India at that time appointed A.N. Ray, who had extended support in favor of government in Keshwanand Bharati case. The first visible political interference in 1973. And then second, in 1977, M.H. Beg, M.H. Beg, he was appointed at the cost of senior most judge H.R. Khanna. Two political interference we experienced. And because of this political interference, first time after enforcement of Constitution 26 January 1950, Indian judiciary experienced the political encroachment in judiciary. But in 1982, when a case called first judge case, that is technically called S.P. Gupta versus Union of India, Union of India. In that case, known as first judge case, Supreme Court said consultation is simply consultation, formal in nature, based on custody. So whatsoever opinion will be given by Chief Justice Supreme Court, that will not be binding in nature. Nothing wrong. That was as per the expectation of Article 124. But in 1993, second judge case, Supreme Court advocate on record versus Union of India. That was second judge case. Supreme Court advocate on record versus Union of India. In that case, Supreme Court came out with collegium system. Court said that consultation is not simply a courteous consultation. Now it will be binding in nature. And Chief Justice of India will have to consult two senior most judges, then will go to President of India, and President will have to follow the advice of Chief Justice of India. That was the beginning of collegium system in India. But today's collegium system is different. Today's collegium system you will find in 1998, that is called third judge case or reappointment of judges case. 1998 Supreme Court said what? Now this equation will be changed. Chief Justice of India will interact with 4 senior most judges now. And out of 4 senior most judges, 3 must support Chief Justice of India. Only then Chief Justice of India will give advice to President, and that will be binding in nature. If 2 out of 4 will go against the view, that will not be a completion of consultation, and Chief Justice will not be authorized to give any advice to President of India. So today we have collegium system, and that collegium system is 1 CJI plus 4 senior most judges, and out of 4, 3 must give the opinion to Chief Justice unitedly. If 2 out of 4 will go against, that will not be considered completion of the process, and Chief Justice will not give advice to President of India, and then President of India will not be in a position to appoint judges. That is 1998. Right? Today's collegium system is based on that, as per article number 124(2) is concerned. Then this collegium system is a matter of concern, because it is nothing but extra constitutional system. What is extra constitutional? Which is not mentioned in constitution but not unconstitutional, is called extra constitution. This one is extra constitutional system. And extra constitutional system from very beginning is attacked by people from different strata, from different areas and different wings, including the political circle in this country. But the technical strike against, I will not use surgical strike because surgical strike word is a patent for some people. So I will not use surgical strike, it will be politicized. So technical strike does not mean technical strike should be given patent. It is very simple word. Technical strike you will find in 2000 and then in 2007. In 2000, National Constitution Review Commission under Venkatachalaya talked about National Judicial Appointment Commission. And second ARC talked about National Judicial Appointment Council or National Judicial Council. Okay? National Judicial Council. So National Judicial Appointment Commission or National Judicial Council, these two were against the collegium system. So technical strike I am talking about, the first one 2000, second one 2007. In 2014, Union government came out with 99th Constitutional Amendment Act, and in 2015 Supreme Court declared that amendment null and void on ground of what? Doctrine of separation of power. Doctrine of separation of power. The moment it was declared as null and void, collegium system again established. Right? Now, after 2015, still we have collegium system, and collegium system still is under attack. Question will arise, what is pros and what is cons? Because it is a matter of judiciary to be accepted. It is a matter of judiciary to be independent. It is a matter of judiciary to be concerned about the judicial values and ethics. Already I discussed. So people who are going to be a part of judiciary should not be a political victim. If judges shall be appointed by President, without any doubt, they will be a victim of politics, because President of India perform as per the advice of Council of Ministers, and Council of Ministers always carry their particular narrow political ideology. So collegium system is extended support to maintain judicial independence. Collegium system is expected to continue to ensure merit and competency in judiciary. Collegium system is expected to continue to ensure diversified representation in judiciary without any kind of political narrowness in context of caste-based reservation. Judicial independency will be protected by collegium system, because collegium system will give judges opportunity to decide the judges in court based on merit and merit only. Rest all other things will not be taken care of. So diversity, inclusivity, merit, political independence, these all will be essential ingredient of merit, of collegium system. But despite this all, why collegium system is attacked? People used to say nothing written in the constitution. That is the most important thing. Second, there is one syndrome called uncle judge syndrome. Uncle judge syndrome means nepotism. If you have any link with judges, your name may be in the list recommended to President of India. Collegium system is blamed because of lack of diversity and inclusivity, although it is a merit also. But lack of diversity on what ground? Some people used to comment, factually may be right, that people marginalized society are not going to get appropriate representation in higher judiciary. Why are not going to get appropriate representation? No one is there to answer. Because in collegium system you will not find transparency. If list is going to be given to President of India to appoint judges, the collegium must be answerable to people of this country to explain on what ground that list is prepared. Who were going to be discussed and who were not going to be discussed, and whosoever were discussed, why number of them were not selected and why number of them were selected. If today X is not selected, Y is selected, then tomorrow on what ground that X will be selected or will be discussed again? Country must know. If judges are not performing their role as per their ability, in first part I was talking about the present Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. I was talking about the judges of Calcutta High Court. They all are the product of this collegium system. So the collegium responsible for the appointment of that kind of judges must come forward to take responsibility of deteriorating judicial ethics in the country. Because judicial ethics will not come down automatically, will come down because of the behavior of judges whosoever going to be appointed by President of India on the basis of the recommendation of the collegium itself. So why collegium is not going to take responsibility? Who will monitor the procedures and the criteria or methods going to be adopted by the collegium system to decide who will be recommended and who will not be recommended? Who will be the monitoring body? How it will be possible for them to monitor themselves without any kind of answerability? That's why collegium system is in question. Collegium system is in question because number of posts are vacant, unfilled, and collegium is not capable enough to recommend all those lists or sufficient number of eligible candidates to be appointed to fill the post on time. We must know, we must be careful about one thing, that more than 5 crore cases are pending in country. Even more than 40,000 cases are pending in Supreme Court. So why Indian judiciary is not very much concerned about any kind of problem or lacuna or any kind of negativity in Indian judiciary as far as the collegium system is concerned. Recently, I am talking about 7th of September 2024. 7th of September 2024, the Chief Justice Supreme Court said that judicial appointment is not a prerogative of one individual and nothing wrong in collegium system. If there will be nothing wrong, so-called, if you are not ready to concede that something is wrong, there will be no any hope for reform. It means you are not ready to be corrected. And Constituent Assembly was talking about self-regulation, self-control, self-constraint. You are supposed to come out with highest level of morale. Your morality, your ethics should be your capital. But when Chief Justice Supreme Court on 7th of this September 2024 talking about collegium system, not ready to concede that anything wrong in the collegium. That may be arrogance, may not be, but it will show the insensitivity of the collegium and the members of collegium against or in favor of collegium. Collegium may not be wrong, but collegium must be re-energized. Collegium must be rejuvenated. Collegium must be re-reformed to make collegium more vibrant, more open, more responsible, more accountable, more answerable. When Chief Justice of India is talking about constitutional morality, in collegium also that morality must be reflected. But months before, Chief Justice was not ready to concede any kind of wrong in collegium system. So today, this issue is very important for the country to address. Because our appointment going to be affected. And if appointment will be affected, number of posts will be vacant, and if posts will be vacant, then pending cases will go up. The question here is that what one should give advice. What kind of advice you are supposed to give? Being a vibrant citizen of this country, how you will respond? And I hope you people will accept it, that whenever we are given responsibility, or we are supposed to be given responsibility to advise, we advise on the basis of foreign countries. This is in foreign country, that should be adopted. So we have number of countries like United States of America, Britain, South Africa, Australia. In these countries, we have a different kind of system to appoint judges. And people used to say that we can borrow that system without knowing the diversified and different ecological system there. We don't have that kind of ecology. We have a different kind of political ambience. We have a different kind of social ambience. We have a different kind of economic aspects. Our system is different from rest part of the world if how their medicine will be effective in our country. And no system is the panacea for every kind of problem. In fact, their system for them not very much effective, and they want to rethink or revisit the same. The question here is that system if we have, we should go for three things. structural reform, procedural reform, and behavioral reform. Most important will be behavioral reform, not structural reform. If behavior will not be changed, structure, the best one in the world, will not perform. And that's why it is said, judicial ethics is essential for democratic system of governance. Judicial ethics is essential for democratic system of governance, because governance is nothing but a behavioral dimension of government. And UPSC had a question that democracy is not a panacea for good governance. It means democracy is not a pill to give to everyone to be good. If democracy will be good always, then number of countries without democracy flourish. They have a better system than others. We have democracy in our country, some of you may know, but we ranked 159th as far as the press freedom is concerned. We are 110th as far as the electoral democracy is concerned. We are at the bottom when we will talk about the hunger index, when we will talk about the happiness index. We have democracy. So democracy is not a pill to give everyone. That we will have to be careful about. So essential for us to go for a well decided with complete strategy and planning. First, to correct collegium system, and if correction will not be sufficient, then to go for search for alternate system. But first of all, one should go for correction. And correction, what kind of? Transparency, accountability, right to information should be part of that. Merit-based appointments should be there. Time-bound appointments should be there. What suggestion one can give? One is transparency. Second one is merit system. Third one is accountability. Fourth one is time-bound decision, means whatsoever collegium recommend, that should be implemented in a given time period. That is very important. Then should come under RTI. You can write public participation. Public participation is must. Right? And if not possible, then we have article number 312. It talks about All India Judicial Service. Article number 312, All India Judicial Service. Whenever you will come out with All India Judicial Service, like civil service, you will find fresh talent. You will find a representation of deprived section. That will be your second point in favor of All India Judicial Service. First one is fresh talent. Second one is representation of deprived section of society. Third one, you will find a reducing pendency of cases because timely appointment. But here also we must understand that All India Judicial Service again will not be a solution to collegium. It is one step forward, does not mean only one step forward. It is one step forward. Because like All India Service, All India Judicial Service also will be a matter of concern whenever the issue of federalism will come. The moment the issue of federalism will come, states will oppose All India Judicial Service, because the moment All India Judicial Service will hit the ground, article number 233 to article number 237 will be affected. Article number 233 to 237 deal with district judiciary, and district judiciary is a subject matter of state. So whenever All India Judicial Service will come, 233 to 237 will be affected and state autonomy will be reduced. So states may not support All India Judicial Service. That's why I told you, All India Judicial Service is one step in right direction, but not only one step in right direction. Other aspects also should be taken care of. And as far as other aspects concerned, National Judicial Appointment Commission or National Judicial Council will be one another solution. You may ask a question that how and why again National Judicial Appointment Commission will come. Already in 2015 it was declared null and void. So on what ground again you will come out with National Judicial Appointment Commission? That may be your question. Whenever this kind of question one will ask, answer will be very, very simple. That when Supreme Court in 2015 gave a judgment against 99th constitutional amendment that was related to article number 124A, court said commission is not wrong, but involvement of politicians in commission cannot be acceptable. In that commission we had law minister also. So Supreme Court said that will be violation of separation of power. So politicians should not be allowed to be part of appointment. So minus politicians, you can come out with commission. It will be essential for the political representatives to come out with that kind of guts, that kind of courage, to put before judiciary this kind of commission or council without any politician, to make commission meaningful for the judiciary and as per the demand of judicial ethics. So the moment we will address the appointment in judiciary carefully, we will hope, we will expect that ethics also will be maintained in Indian judiciary. So appointment and ethics both are to some extent interlinked, because ethics will not be maintained by the four wall of the judiciary, will be maintained by the people who are well within the four wall to perform. So whosoever human resource judges with whatsoever potential going to serve the judiciary, they must be competent enough to take care of judicial ethics. And as earlier I told you that Indian judicial system is enjoying a very high level in the people of mind of people of the country. So judiciary will have to maintain that status, and judiciary will maintain that status when judges will be courageous enough to sacrifice themselves at the cost of integrity, right? It will be essential for them to serve the society without compromising the objectivity, integrity, compassion, empathy towards the people of this country and towards the profession of the country. So this is all about the first part of our discussion. And if any of you want to ask a question, if any of you have any kind of doubt, you are free to ask. I will try my best to respond. No. Okay, any of you have appeared in exam earlier? None of you? You? When? 2014, 24? Okay, in pre or mains? Only pre. Okay. Next year, all of you will. So you have completed the course or you are pursuing the completed? Okay. So whenever, wherever you have completed, you had discussed that kind of topic? Huh? Some parts. Okay, like this one, collegium. Restatement of, okay, okay. Appointment of judges, collegium system. Okay, okay. First part you did not. Judicial ethics and all. Okay, okay, fine. So any doubt, any question if you have? First? Okay, okay, okay. Oath beta is divided into 4 parts, only for our understanding, although judges will not take oath in 4 different parts. First one is true faith and allegiance towards Constitution. True faith and allegiance towards Constitution. Second one, to uphold sovereignty, integrity. Third one, to perform duty with best of ability without fear, favoritism. In short, I can say the complete adherence towards the Constitution. Perfect, complete dedication towards the Constitution in letter and spirit both. Okay, that is constitutional morality in short. Anyone? Any doubt? Okay. So you will take 5-minute break? Yes. Enjoy.